I think, like, you have filmmakers like Xiaodan,
Yes,
and, He Xiaodan and Yang Aonan and all sorts of Gu Tao, great filmmakers coming from who have studied in North America, but who have returned to their homeland and have created, thoughtful, provocative stories. And I think it was, I'm not I'm not very good at analyzing the reason why, but I would say that because there are more opportunities now where we can support voices that are different voices, not the typical voices like Quebecois filmmaker or Canadian filmmaker who's now we are looking beyond, and I think we are, as audiences, are interested in telling stories that are not in our backyard. And I think that our backyard is a much bigger backyard because we are immigrants, because we are from different backgrounds. So I think that is important. That's the difference. Past 10 years, there's more recognition that we need to tell stories that go beyond our backyard. I think without being too stereotypical, I think that Chinese are, as filmmakers, are generally the good ones. I include myself, but I think there's a different sensibility for what a story is and how we can tell a story, and it's a connection more to this idea of a European cinema, and inspired by European cinema. So I think the French culture is very important and I think that's why in Montreal there are so many Chinese filmmakers who studied in Montreal and become successful. It's because we are encouraged by the medium of European cinema rather than the traditional like Hollywood cinema.
I see.
So, but even that, when I say that, it's not true anymore because you have filmmakers coming from all over the place now in America, Hawaii filmmakers who are successful. I mean, that whatever your definition of success is, I think that is interesting to note. Hawaii filmmakers who are making headway into the industry commercially. But I think in Montreal, cinéistes who are making films, and they're inspired by art house cinema, European cinema, art house Chinese cinema, and I think that is something that is encouraged in a city like Montreal. Yeah, I feel like in Montreal, not like being in Toronto or Hollywood or something like this. Maybe even not like being in Beijing or something, where it's like, or Shanghai. Like in Montreal, 还有，等一下， the dog. Yeah, so I think what was so special about being in Montreal making these two films, Yung Chang and 前追把念, is that there was a feeling of being not part of the mainstream, a feeling of being in a smaller community of filmmakers and being supported by this small circle of community, and in particular with my producers at I Steal Film. I felt like I had a freedom to speak the story I wanted to speak, to tell the story I wanted to tell without being, without kind of being influenced by commercial, or outside impulses. I just make it was a feeling of purity, is what I mean. And because I've left Montreal, it's been over a year, I'm kind of nostalgic for that. For that
miss
time.
Montreal.
A little bit, yeah, very much.
Yeah.
Being a father makes a big difference, and it makes me think about how I use my time. being a filmmaker, you're often not around. You're traveling. You're writing. You're filming. You know, so it's changing how I make films. I want to be more efficient, and I want to you know, although it's very difficult in this business because a lot of it is very inefficient.
That's true.
Lots
of things out of your control, but you have to
out of your control,
try your best.
Exactly, or you're like I am now, working at a editing room right now, and unable to be at home. But this is the life that I decided to take. So my family is supportive of me. That's a good.
Thank you, Yang. OK， 谢谢，